Hi boys and girls, it's time for Foundations. Today we're going to talk about our base words and suffixes. Okay, so when we have our base word, that just is a fancy way of saying our regular word. That's our word that we're talking about, that we're starting with. A base is something that you need to start with before you can do anything else. So if I wanted to build a house, I had to start with the basement, the bottom of the house before I can build the roof. Okay, if I'm playing baseball, I'm going to run to first base before I keep going around all the other bases. I have to start with the base of something. And the base word is my regular word that I'm going to start with. When I add a suffix on, the suffix is the part that will change the meaning of the word. So it will actually change what that word means in a sentence. A suffix is also really important to us as first graders because it gets us starting to look at the ends of words. And that's something that's pretty new to us as readers. We get used to using lips the fish and always looking at the beginning of sounds. And now all of a sudden we're starting to ask you to look at the ends of words. We've been starting to ask you to look at silent E, look through a word and see if it has a silent E. Now we're asking you to look for suffixes. Look through a word and see if it has a suffix. Doing these things is telling you that you're getting to be an older reader. Older readers have to read longer words, and the clue on how to read these longer words lies at the end of a word. At the ends of the word help you to read the beginning of the word. So this is big kid stuff here. Okay, so we have a base word and a suffix. Let's talk about our base word first. Our base word for now is going to be jump. Okay, I know you all know what jump means. So we have a 4-tap word. I'm just going to scoot that over a little bit. A 4-tap word. Jump. Okay. Jump means to be going up and down. You know what that means, okay? If I were to add the suffix, so I have base word, suffix. If I were to add the suffix S, S means more than one. And we talked about this already. S or ES means more than one. That means that if I say my daughter jumps, she didn't just do one jump. She jumps. She jumps, jumps, and jumps, and jumps, and jumps. Up and down. So you can picture in your head my daughter going up and down. There's a better suffix for that. There's a suffix called ing. There's a suffix that I can use that tells you that that up and down is what she's doing right now. So if I look at her, I don't say, my daughter jumps. I look at her and I say, my daughter is jumping. That makes a lot more sense to me. And if I were to write that in a sentence, I would say, my daughter is jumping. She's doing it right now while I'm watching her. Okay, so ing is something that's happening right now. Now you also know that ing is a glued sound. So ing has two jobs. Ing is a suffix and a glued sound. I'm going to show you how to mark it when it's a suffix in a few minutes. Now, if I was telling you this story about something that she did yesterday, I was watching her outside yesterday, and she was going up and down, then she jumped yesterday. Now, jumped. Jumped. At the end, I heard a t, t, p, t, p. Jumped. But I don't spell jump. That doesn't look right. That does not look like a word I have ever seen as a first grader. I know that my teachers have never read books to me that have this in it. So the word that I'm actually finding is jump as my base word, and then ed as the ending afterwards. So you know all that tapping that we do all the time? And there's a little lonely finger that hasn't had much to do? This guy, this is what he's been waiting for. Your thumb has been waiting for the suffix lesson. For a suffix, you can cover up with your thumb and see the base word. So we can look all the way through a word and we can say, what is that word? Cover up the ed or the ing or the s or the es. And what's left? A base word. A base word that you can tap out. So your fingers have been tapping since kindergarten, and now your thumb finally gets to do his job. He's been waiting for this. Okay, so let's look at another base word. My next base word is, so I have base word and suffix. Again, my base word is my regular word. So I'm going to start with that. Then I add on the suffix. So I'm going to make my base word, which starts with a blend. My blend is pull, pull. And then I have, let's see if Mrs. Horde can remember where I stuck everything in my new setup here. And glued sound. So I have a blend, glued sound, and t. So this word is plant. Now, plant could mean two things. It could mean me actually digging out the dirt and putting something in there that I plant the rose bush. Or it could be the beautiful plant that I give to my mom on Mother's Day. So has two meanings, plant. Now, if I buy two plants, one for my mom and one for my grandma, then I need to say that I have a base word plant, and then I have two plants. But if I were digging in the dirt and I wanted to plant my flowers, then I would be doing what? What is the suffix for doing something? Digging. And doing it is planting. Doing it right now. And last but not least, if I said, boys and girls, guess what I did? Over the weekend, in the past, already did it. I planted. Planted. Ed. Planted. Ed. Ed ending tells me I already did it. Okay, so very quickly I'm going to move you over here. So you can see, how do we mark a base word and a suffix? So if my word was jump, and then I said, my daughter jumps. My daughter is jumping. My daughter jumped. All of these words have the same base word because we started with the same base word. So I want to be able to show that to everybody. The base word gets an underline. Base word, base word, base word. Show your base word. There it is. There's the base, an underline. And then my suffix gets a circle. So I can show that that is what was added on. All right. And in our other word, It actually helps to tell me if I'm talking about the thing, the plant, or the digging of planting. So I started with plant, but I had more than one plant. Then I had planting, which was me digging and doing it right now. And then I had my story that I planted over the weekend. What was the base word in all three? Was plant, plant, plant. Same word. Except that I had to tell you I have more than one. I'm doing it right now. Or I already did it, but I wanted to tell you. So that's how we mark it. Base word, circle the suffix. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time.